Hi, I'm Berkeley with Pictureline here in Salt Lake City. Today we're going to be talking about the new Canon XA10. I'm really excited. We just got these today and Dave and I decided to do a video about it. And first look, I pulled this out of the box and found that you can take the handle off. It came with it off, and so you can either leave it off or put it on. And on that handle, you have the XLR ports. And I'm always happy about having XLR ports right off the bat because your audio is going to be quite a bit more professional. Also, up on here on the control panel of the handle, you have your microphone adjustments. So you can do phantom power, you can turn channel 1 on, channel 2 off, you can do it however you want. And you also have your levels for your XLR ports. This camera has 64 gigabytes of internal memory, and not only that, you can do 2 SD/XC cards upon the 64 gigs. And so once it fills up the internal memory, it will then start recording to 1 SD card, and then it'll also from there go to the next one. And so there's not too many limits when it comes to recording time on this camera. But SD/XC cards, soon there's going to be 2 terabyte SD/XC cards coming out, and they will work with this camera, which is great. 10 power optical zoom. It's a Canon zoom. They always make good glass. They've done a lot of things right. They also have an instant autofocus, and so you're not going to be able to wonder if you're going to get the shot anymore because you're wondering if it's in focus. With this instant autofocus window down here in the lens, you'll get that autofocus every single time. First look, I love this ring here, so you can do manual focus. By doing the manual focus here, it just feels a lot more natural. I feel that they've been needing something like this for quite a long time and more of a prosumer camera. But feature after feature, I love the infrared shooting. This can shoot infrared by the flip of a switch down here on the panel. And so you can shoot in pure darkness, and it'll actually put out a little bit of infrared beaming out of the front handle, so you can shoot in pitch dark. That doesn't even matter. This camera is at the top of the AVCHD format. It shoots 24 megabytes a second. And at 24 megabytes a second, you're gonna be getting some pretty awesome footage. And so that is the maximum AVCHD can shoot. Another feature I like on this camera is the processing power. This has a DV3 processor, and to be able to process that much information, you have to have a really powerful processor. And by having a powerful processor, you're going to be able to shoot in lower light conditions, and it's going to help you quite a bit when you're shooting in low light. This camera also has built-in filters. They call them cinematic filters. So you can do things like vivid color shooting, you can do black and white, you can do a bunch of different presets so you're not having to worry about it in post-production. And I thought that was a really neat idea. Another thing this camera has is a dynamic image stabilizer. Dynamic image stabilizer is going to be really good when you're using the zoom. Most stabilizers, when you're zooming, the image stabilizer becomes non-functional. But that's what a dynamic stabilizer does, is as you're zooming, your stabilizer is still working and it'll stay stable throughout the zoom. This camera also has a RGB color filter, and so what it does is there's actually a filter inside the camera, and as it sees the reds, the greens, and the blues, it splits them off and puts them to their right place. And so you don't really need a 3-chip sensor anymore. It's going to split it up anyway, and it's going to look really good. Now on this handle up top here, you have a zoom toggle, which I think is really great. When you're walking with it, the camera's balanced. You can zoom in, zoom out. You can start, you can stop. You can also hold your hand up in here and do the same, zoom, start, and stop. Now this camera shoots 1920 by 1080 resolution, and it's a 1/3" size sensor, and it's a CMOS sensor. This sensor is a really special sensor because they made it have less pixels. By having less pixels, it's gonna look a lot better in low light. It's gonna be beautiful. This camera can shoot in 30 frames per second or 24 frames per second. This is really one of the first times that Canon made a camera that can shoot in 24p native. By it being native, it's not having to do the internal frame drop anymore, and so it's gonna look much better. This camera is also really cool because you can use the i5 memory cards. It'll actually down-res the file if you want to, and by down-resing the file, you put an i5 card in and it'll transmit that video wirelessly to a wireless network or an ad hoc communication with a computer. And so I think they really have thought of everything. In the package, it also comes with a shotgun mic attachment. They really wanted you to be able to do anything possible with this camera. They wanted to give you the option to make it small or to make it large and use it for full video studio recording. So that was a wise move on their part. So that's pretty much our first take on the new XA10 by Canon. If you can't tell, I'm really excited. I want one of these. I just totally want one. Thank you for spending time with us at Pictureline today. If you have any questions, I'm Berkeley, and you can call us at 801-364-1200, or you can visit us at pictureline.com. Thank you so much.